It is my honor to declare this convocation officially convened. Please take your seats and rest comfortably and enjoy the new seats in the bleachers that are part of the newly refurbished Jack Simpson Gym. I'm sure plenty of you are noticing that they're way more comfortable today than they've been in a long time. So enjoy that. Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome. My name is Deborah Yedlin, and I am the Chancellor of the University of Calgary. Like airline flights, we're going to start with a quick safety briefing. In the event of a fire alarm, please remain seated while we investigate. If an evacuation is required, we ask that you follow the instructions of the ushers and the marshals to the nearest stairwell and exit the building. Emergency exits are located on the upper track level behind me on the north wall and also at the court level. Your life vests are under your seats. You can also exit the gymnasium on the upper level at the southwest corner, and if you get a little too excited, friends and family, there will be oxygen masks that do drop from the ceiling in the event of a little bit too much excitement over the afternoon. Acknowledging our history and traditional lands is an important step towards reconciliation with Indigenous peoples. Today we are gathered together on the traditional territories of the people of the Treaty 7 region in southern Alberta, which includes the Blackfoot Confederacy comprising the Siksika, Piikani, and Kainai First Nations, as well as the Tsuut'ina First Nation and the Stoney Nakoda, including the Chiniki, Bearspaw, and Wesley First Nations. The City of Calgary is also home to Métis Nation of Alberta, Region 3. I would also like to note that the University of Calgary is situated on land adjacent to where the Bow River meets the Elbow River, and that the traditional Blackfoot name of this place is Mohkinstsis, which we now call the City of Calgary. It's a pleasure to welcome today's graduates who sit before me, along with your family and friends, to this afternoon's convocation ceremony. University President and Vice Chancellor Dr. Ed McCauley and I are pleased to welcome honorary degree recipient John Geiger and Order of the University of Calgary recipient Greg Vavra. And I'm also pleased to welcome Jill Wyatt, Chair of the University of Calgary Board of Governors, members of our Board of Governors, university senators, Dr. Drew Marshall, University of Calgary Provost and Vice President Academic, members of our senior leadership team, Jessica Revington, Students' Union President, and other executive members of our Students' Union and Graduate Students' Association. A warm welcome to past honorary degree recipients, Richard Guy, Mary Rosé de Coquet, and Roger Jackson. And welcome to our distinguished graduate, Marcos Lopez. I also want to mention today is the 75th anniversary of D-Day, and it's important for us to acknowledge and remember those who fought for our rights and freedoms that we enjoy today in this country and in many parts of this world. So let's think about that. A special welcome to professors and staff from the faculties of Science, Kinesiology, and Graduate Studies. It's just wonderful to be here with all of you today for this important milestone. Now, I know some of you are here under duress. Your parents made you come to your own convocation. Imagine. But it is incredibly important for you to be here, to mark this pivotal milestone which represents your individual journeys. And being here with your family also acknowledges that they were part of your journey. Take a moment and wave to your friends and family in the bleachers who are here today and who helped you along the way. Your degrees represent the culmination of years of hard work. For some, in the words of Winston Churchill, blood, toil, sweat, and tears might come to mind. So therefore, it is a time to celebrate and acknowledge your achievements. Today it is all about you. Graduates, you are equipped with an education that will hold its own wherever you find yourselves as you embark on your respective journeys. To those graduating from the Faculty of Kinesiology, I'm envious. 40 years ago when I finished high school, I wanted to study phys ed, which is what it was called then, and then I wanted to go to journalism school. My goal was to be a sports writer. My parents had other ideas, and I wound up studying English and economics, which I haven't regretted, and I ended up making a career writing about the sport of business. The lessons learned through sport, perseverance, teamwork, determination, recovering from failure, and the discipline are invaluable, and they stay with you throughout your lifetime. Sport builds resiliency, both physically and mentally. It teaches us to take risks, because that's what you do when you commit to pushing your limits, and it teaches us to accept and deal with failure. Sport teaches us that we are human. And today there is one more reason to be active, as we know the important connection between exercise and mental health. It doesn't have to be competitive, it just has to be part of our lives. It's been part of mine since I was a very young girl, helping to stay fit mentally and physically, and helping to get rid of that nervous energy I wake up with every morning. To our science graduates, scientific research and discovery and application have been and will continue to be critical to the advancement of society. The advancements in science, the improvements in the human condition in the world around us are underpinned by basic science and applied science. The energy sector, which drives our economy, is the beneficiary of all that scientific discovery and application. You enter a world where the focus is on applied science, the "what have you done for me lately" variety. It's very important, but it has to be done in combination with basic research, which lays the groundwork for the applied science and future discoveries. Think of scientists from Galileo to Donna Strickland, and successes come from using the discoveries of the past to inform the aha moments of the future, and that will never change. But there is always a constant tension between both sides. The Swiss physicist Heinrich Rohr characterized it like this: science means constantly walking a tightrope between blind faith and curiosity, between expertise and creativity, between bias and openness, between experience and epiphany, between ambition and passion, and between arrogance and conviction. In short, between an old today and a new tomorrow. Graduates, you will learn to walk that tightrope. You must, for the benefit of today's world and the world of tomorrow. And to our graduate students, I know how hard you've worked and the time and effort that is needed to pursue your graduate work and take your education to a higher level. Graduate work requires passion, curiosity, and tenacity. My mother was a professor at the University of Alberta, and I've been recently going through all her papers. I've found many relating to her academic journey to getting her PhD in 1968 when she was 47 years old. Drafts of her thesis, letters from professors in support of her studies, her notes, invariably written on 8.5 by 11 yellow sheets of paper, and bibliography on countless index cards. There was no hiding the fact it was a consuming time, but she was passionate about her subject matter, she was curious, and she was tenacious. She retired as Professor Emerita in 1996. Be proud of what you've accomplished and the possibilities that lie ahead. Part of getting an education is about asking questions and seeking answers, and learning through that process. The whys, the hows, and the what ifs have no limits in any discipline. To each of you graduating today, regardless of your field of study, those simple words carry with them the tremendous potential of setting you on a path to better understand an issue or problem and where the solutions might lie. Graduates, your education is your ticket to an exciting future. How you use it is what matters. Don't feel constrained by the letters in your degree. Use the basic principles you have learned and apply them across disciplines. You never know where that could lead you and what doors might open. And despite what you feel right now, there is no rush. Sometimes finding the sweet spot of where you really want to be takes time. When I was younger and rather impatient, my dad would tell me a story about a man walking to Jerusalem and reaching a fork in the road. He asks a man standing at that fork, Which way should I go? And the man says, if you take the road on the left, it is the short road that is long. But if you take the road on the right, it is the long road that is short. To the graduates of the University of Calgary's class of 2019, enjoy the journey, don't be afraid to take the long road, and congratulations. I would now like to invite President and Vice Chancellor Ed McCauley to come forward and address Convocation.
Thank you, Chancellor Yedlin, and hello, everyone. I'm absolutely delighted to welcome all of you to Convocation 2019. This is the exclamation point at the end of an exciting academic year. It's a celebration of all of the hard work and dedication shown by our students throughout their learning experience. Most importantly, it's a chance to look forward to the future. The graduates who will walk across this stage are extraordinary. They are the leaders and innovators that our world needs most right now. And they're the reason for everything we do at the University of Calgary. Graduates, we are all so proud of you. Congratulations to the class of 2019. I also want to join Chancellor Yedlin in welcoming the people who have made this convocation that much more special. Honorary degree recipient, John Geiger, Order of the University of Calgary recipient, Greg Vavra, distinguished graduate, Marcos Lopez, and, of course, all the family and friends in the audience who have supported our students on their academic journey. In fact, it's thanks to this great Calgary community that the University of Calgary is achieving its status as a great university. Great universities transform lives for the better. We exist to create a positive impact in society. The knowledge we create and the solutions we offer all tie back to this commitment. And our impact starts right here, on our campuses and in the experiences we provide for our students. This includes the opportunities to learn from some of the world's best in their field, to conduct research, to explore new forms of creativity and bold innovations. This is also about the opportunity to study abroad, to collaborate with peers, to help people in need, and so much more. The best university experience is one that empowers our students to grow in all areas of life. And this empowerment is our investment in their success not only as learners, but as good leaders and caring citizens. The University of Calgary is home to many people who contribute to this type of student experience, and I'd like to take this moment to acknowledge them. If I could please ask all of you to please stand where you are and remain standing, could all of the faculty and staff of the University of Calgary on the dais and in the audience please stand and be acknowledged for your support. And the audience as well. Could I also ask our members of our Board of Governors and Senate and Chancellors past and present to please stand and be acknowledged. I mentioned, please sit down, thank you. I mentioned that this graduating class represents the leaders who will change the world for the better. How do I know this? Well, it's because the incredibly talented students that are in this room have already done it. You're already leaders. You stepped up to tough challenges, taken the initiative, and made a difference in our community in so many ways. I'll share 2 examples. Eamon Drysdale is graduating today with a Master of Science in Geology and Geophysics. Eamon, could you stand or give us a wave? Eamon has worked with world-class researchers in paleontology to develop a better understanding of the dinosaur species that once lived right here in our province. During his master's thesis, Eamon collaborated with teams at the University of Calgary and the Royal Tyrrell Museum to study rare fossils from a species called Procelophus maximus. Emphasis on the maximus. This dinosaur was enormous, a herbivore weighing over 4,000 pounds. It had a long, duck-like beak and lived in southern Alberta and northern Montana about 75 million years ago. Eamon analyzed fossils from the youngest known individuals, gaining unique insight into how this dinosaur likely developed. His research was of such high caliber that it has since been published in a major journal. Eamon looks forward to continuing this work as he prepares for his PhD in dinosaur paleontology. Congratulations, Eamon. Sharon Wang graduates today with a Bachelor of Science in Computer Science. Sharon, could you please stand and give us a wave? There she is over there. Sharon, I'll use my professor's voice. Sharon discovered her passion for computer science during her first year here, and she has pursued this interest across an incredible range of projects. To share just a few, Sharon interned as a software developer for companies like Smart Technologies and IBM. She attended numerous industry conferences to learn from other tech professionals. And she served as a dedicated mentor through the Science Mentorship Program and Technovation, a 12-week program for young girls focused on technology development and entrepreneurship. In addition to all of this, Sharon also competed in prestigious competitions. Last year, she and her team won the Lacroix Prize at the Hackathon in the Vatican. They developed a unique platform to foster interfaith dialogue, all in a matter of 36 hours. Sharon has an incredible future ahead, and she's actually already begun her career. Sharon is now a virtual machine software developer at IBM. Congratulations, Sharon. On the president's prerogative, I'm actually going to add a third student, unless somebody cuts off my microphone. Haley McDougall's in the audience. Haley, could you please stand? Haley is graduating today from a special combined degree program, earning both a Bachelor of Arts in Dance and a Bachelor of Kinesiology. We introduced this program at the University of Calgary in 2014. It's one of a kind in Canada, and Haley is actually part of our very first graduating class. She is also the first to complete an honors thesis in the combined BA BKin degree. With the support of her supervisor, Dr. Sarah Kenny, Haley studied Highland dancers to better understand their risk for injury. Her findings were so unique that Haley will now present at the International Association for Dance Medicine and Science in October. And she submitted her manuscript for publication in a leading journal. In the meantime, Haley plans to complete a teaching certificate in healthy dance practice, and she is competing in multiple upcoming dance performances in Europe. Congratulations, Haley, and thank you for joining us today. There are numerous other stories of leadership from this graduating class, and I wish I had time here today to share all of them with you, because these stories demonstrate the extraordinary achievements of our students. You've shown that good leaders are defined by their actions, by their willingness to listen to others, think critically, show accountability, and apply their skills for the benefit of society. And it's through your continued leadership that the University of Calgary creates its ultimate impact in the world. Graduates, you are the best ambassadors for our university, and your graduation is just the beginning. You have an amazing journey ahead of you, and each step of the way, please remember you are not alone. As UCalgary alumni, you become part of a family of leaders who are over 180,000 strong. And these alumni, like you, care about impact. They care about finding solutions and improving lives here in our city, across our country, and around the world. So many of you have shown this commitment throughout your student experience, and you are leading the way for us to a more positive future. And wherever this path takes you, I know you will go far. Congratulations to the class of 2019. The university draws its strength from its community, its students, its faculty, its staff, and its alumni. The Order of the University of Calgary honors those within our community who have brought great esteem to the university. Greg Vavra is a deserving recipient of the Order. A lawyer with over 25 years of corporate experience in the energy sector, Greg is a two-time alumnus from our university with both a commerce degree and a law degree. He's also a living legend within the Dinos football program. Greg quarterbacked the Dinos men's varsity football team to their first Vanier Cup in 1983, and he was the first Calgary player to win the Heck Crichton Trophy, a high honor for the most outstanding player of the year in Canadian college football. Greg was also the Canada West All-Star quarterback from 1980 to 1983, as well as an All-Canadian quarterback in 1983. And Greg was the only Dino football player in history to have his number 17 retired. In 1995, he was inducted to the inaugural class of the university's Athletic Hall of Fame. And after graduation, Greg played in the Canadian Football League, in the CFL, for 5 seasons. Then, in 2006, he returned to the Dinos football to join our coaching staff as the offensive coordinator. Greg has been an active member of the Dinos Fifth Quarter Alumni Association, and he has spent countless hours developing our student athletes. Greg's leadership and dedication to athletics makes him an inspiration to our graduating students. Eminent Chancellor, I present to you Greg Vavra, a true citizen of the University of Calgary. I invite you to admit him as a member of the Order of the Order of the University of Calgary. Getting ahead of things? Member of the Order of the University of Calgary in recognition of his exemplary and distinguished service to the university.
It is my great pleasure to now admit you as a member of the Order of the University of Calgary. Congratulations. Thank you.
I would now like to introduce Patrick Finn, our university orator, who will deliver the citation for our honorary degree recipient.
When Seamus Heaney wrote his famous poem, Digging, he marveled at his father's tilling of earth and compared it with the writer who digs into the mysteries of life with a pen. For Heaney, the comparison contained a bittersweet note of separation between father and son, since neither knew the other's instrument or worldview. John Geiger shows us what happens when one man masters both realms. Called a fellow writer of exploration literature by poet William S. Burroughs, John Geiger spent years exploring the far north. He traced the paths of fateful and famous expeditions step by step, and later word by word. His discovery and development of the third man theory became a book, a television show, and then a formal treatment used to open up a complex area of human experience. With the sensitivity of the poet and the precision of the scientist, Geiger brings us closer to ourselves and leaves us with a richer understanding of our true nature. The third man theory refers to the phenomenon experienced by many in extreme circumstances who recount the presence of an additional traveler joining them during the moment of greatest trial. The condition is too common to be denied, yet too ethereal to be easily captured by any but the most dedicated and precise researchers. Reading Geiger, we feel that in many ways he has discovered a way to rejoin lost travelers and become that third figure who accompanies them, then returns to share their story. Best-selling books such as Frozen in Time and The Third Man Factor gave him global recognition, but his work as Governor, President, and now CEO of the Royal Canadian Geographical Society have made him a national treasure. His work with the RCGS transformed the organization, expanding its capacity, building educational outreach, launching the Indigenous Peoples Atlas of Canada, and establishing the Centre for Geography and Exploration in Ottawa. Eminent Chancellor, I present to you John Geiger, CEO of the Royal Canadian Geographical Society, President and CEO of Canadian Geographic, a Fellow of Massey College, and a man who reminds us of the power of combining the hard work of connecting to the earth and then taking up the pen to connect us with its majesty and mystery. On behalf of the Senate and the University of Calgary, I invite you to invest him with the degree Doctor of Laws, honoris causa.
I admit you, John Geiger, to the degree Doctor of Laws, honoris causa, and grant you all the rights and responsibilities, powers and privileges pertaining to this degree. Congratulations. Join us for
Chancellor, President, members of the Board and Senate, fellow graduates, ladies and gentlemen, it is a tremendous honor to be here to be part of the class of 2019, and I thank those responsible for this wonderful distinction. When I took a break from my university studies after taking a couple of graduate courses, my father, who himself has a PhD, was skeptical of my decision. I assured him that I would get a graduate degree. I just needed a little time. 33 years, it turned out. Some people are cautious, even to the point of cowardice, people who, in the words of the actor Victor Mature, wouldn't walk up a wet step. Caution within reason is only natural. As Dr. Kenneth Kamler wrote in his book, Surviving the Extremes, no animal in its right mind ever intentionally puts itself in danger by going somewhere it doesn't belong. Yet people do go where they don't belong all the time. A few weeks ago, a photograph of a long queue of climbers waiting to summit Mount Everest went viral. Dozens of people were waiting in the so-called death zone. Some of them died in the extreme conditions. Why are more people than ever before engaged in extreme adventuring or exploring, and in the process placing themselves at risk? I want to tell you why, and why it's good. Last month, at the official opening of the new headquarters of the Royal Canadian Geographical Society, the organization I lead, the ethnobotanist Wade Davis said, while the building was not the Parliament or the Supreme Court or the National Museums, our home at 50 Sussex Drive is, he said, the sacred heart of Canada. Many of you will raise an eyebrow at the idea that there's anything at all sacred in Ottawa. But Wade was talking about the role a society plays in encouraging people, particularly young people, to learn about, and even more importantly, to get out and explore our vast country and the world. That's why the RCGS funds expeditions and field research, such as the Calgary-based team of explorers who discovered and penetrated the deepest cave in Canada, the 670-meter Visaro Anima Cave near Fernie, or Adam Schultz's grueling 4,000-kilometer solo crossing of the Arctic Barrens from Alaska to Hudson Bay. We have now funded hundreds of such expeditions, many of them punishing, involving novelty and risk. And the pressure on us to fund far more than we currently do is constant. Apparently, other imperatives override the survival instinct. But what are they? With our world mapped, photographed, scanned, and imaged, why do people in ever-increasing numbers adventure and explore? The answer, in short, we're hardwired to. In an article in the journal Neuron, British researchers identified a neurological basis for people to intentionally put themselves in danger. Our brains, it turns out, reward risk. In an experiment, the scientists found evidence that a primitive part of the brain has a role in making people adventurous. It is activated when people choose unfamiliar options, despite the inherent risks of the unknown. This suggests an evolutionary advantage for those who explore. The researchers found that the part of the brain involved in processing rewards is more active when subjects shunned safer options to experience the unusual. This is called the novelty bonus. The urge to explore is also the product of prosperous societies like our own. In his groundbreaking study, The Human Brain in Space-Time, about the psychology of space travel, the British neurologist W. Gray Walter refuted the accepted wisdom that exploration, with all its inherent risks, was a response to economic and military necessity. To the contrary, he pointed out that during great eras of exploration, expedition sponsoring countries were often hospitable, prosperous, and plagued only by familiar woes. During the Victorian era, when the British Arctic expedition commanded by Sir John Franklin sailed, Britain had a great empire and was very prosperous relative to any time in its earlier history, and it gave rise to a golden age of exploration. Similarly, the 1950s was one of the most prosperous eras in American history. Unprecedented numbers of families reached middle-class status. It is also the decade that gave birth to space exploration. Subsequent decades have been highly prosperous and the society stable in the developed world. Home has been a good place to be, one would think, and to stay. Yet those same comfortable, seemingly contented populations have also produced large and growing numbers of people who have placed themselves at greater individual risk, engaging in exploration, extreme sports, and adventure travel. Voluntary risk has never been more pervasive. Risk-taking, it seems, is both part of our neurological makeup and part of contemporary life. As Walter argued, the human species is unstable in stable environments. The impetus for exploration is not merely the physical challenge then, the hauling of sledges, the first ascents, the feats of endurance, the geographic trophy at the end. The impetus to explore is also very much part of our nervous equipment. Our brain makes us explore. Exploration, adventure travel, or extreme sports are ways for people to gain insight, not just into the world, but to better understand themselves. Jill Heinerth, the RCGS's Explorer-in-Residence, is one of the bravest people on Earth, a cave diver. She has undertaken dangerous technical dives deep inside underwater cave systems, as she put it, exploring the veins of Mother Earth, and even searched for never-before-seen ecosystems inside giant Antarctic icebergs. She says she takes risks because, and I quote, "In the prickly sensation of fear, we find an opportunity to learn. Stasis to me is certain death, where embracing risk helps me live fully." There are other motives too. There's scientific exploration, of course, field science, and then there are cultural imperatives. The late Louis Kamukak was inspired to seek the fate of the Franklin expedition by using Inuit traditional knowledge. His expeditions, he said, were a way for him to understand what the ancestors are telling us. Indigenous knowledge is a library of experience, learning, and adaptation. As Wade Davis has said, the world in which you were born is just one model of reality. There are others, and I would urge you to experience at least some of them. One of the most intriguing manifestations of exploration is a subject I described in my book, The Third Man Factor. People in novel situations and under stress, often adventurers or explorers, even extreme athletes, experience a sense of an incorporeal being beside them, a powerful presence who guides and encourages them to keep going. And I actually have one with me right just at this moment. Climber Jim Savigny had such an experience on Delta Form at Lake Louise after he was swept down a mountain face by an avalanche. His climbing partner tragically killed, his own body broken and mangled. Somehow, he was lifted up by a presence. He felt it was a presence of a woman whose empathy and advice saved his life. As he put it, I understood what it wanted me to do. It wanted me to live. For those who have had the experience, even in the midst of incredible extremity, it is a deeply personal, sometimes spiritual, and therefore precious experience. The desire to explore is innate in humans and so much a part of us that our brains dispense novelty bonuses to encourage us to take the more adventurous path and even create unseen beings to direct us to safety. To adventure is to escape from comfort. In increasing numbers, we seek out extreme and unusual environments. We seek to gain insight into the nature of Canada, of our planet, but we also explore to come to know ourselves. It is a testing ground of the human spirit. As the great Anglo-American poet T.S. Eliot wrote, "We shall not cease from exploration, and the end of all our exploring will be to arrive where we started and to know the place for the first time." All of you have been equipped by the University of Calgary with a wonderful education. You have learned theories and formulas, but there's something else you need, something that can't be taught. You need to be open to risk. They don't have to be foolish risks, nor do they have to be big risks. You need not haul a sledge solo to the North Pole or dive in a submersible to the Mariana Trench, the deepest part of the ocean, where two Canadians, James Cameron and Patrick Leahy, have recently gone. You need not join the queue to reach the summit of Everest, but I would urge you to climb that wet step. Thank you very much.
Thank you, John, for your insightful words and for helping us to understand why people do pursue those extreme adventures. Many of us here and around the world were riveted by the tragic Everest saga this year. But as you said during your address, we learned from our adventures, from pushing boundaries, touching the void, so to speak, whether as explorers or in the metaphorical sense in other parts of our lives, personal and professional. But I can't help but think that the role of mothers has always been and will continue to be to quell that neurological wiring, to prevent the seeking of the novelty bonus. Thank you very much for your words and your words of wisdom and your insight.
Graduates, can you please stand? Eminent Chancellor and President, it is my pleasure on behalf of the faculties of the university, I present these graduates and those named in the Convocation program who are not at the ceremony today, and I ask that they be pledged and admitted to the University of Calgary degrees that they have earned.
As a graduate of the university, you join a worldwide kinship of educated persons who have earned opportunities and responsibilities of leadership and service in their chosen communities. To recognize this affinity, we invite each graduate to stand and join with the thousands who have gone before in making the University of Calgary's pledge. The pledge is not an oath, but it is a solemn expression of your intention to apply your learning and experience positively for the widest benefit. I invite all past graduates of the University of Calgary to support these newest University of Calgary alumni by also standing and affirming a graduate's obligations and deals. With those in the audience or on the podium, please stand as graduates of the University of Calgary. It is now my pleasure to introduce our distinguished graduate, Marcos Lopez, to lead the graduate pledge. Marcos graduated in 1999 with a computer science degree from the University of Calgary. And that same year, he started Batonic Solutions with a fellow University of Calgary grad. They work with several Calgary companies and won the contract work for a new Calgary startup called Solium Capital. Solium acquired Botonic in 2002, with Marcos taking on the role of Chief Technology Officer. In the years since, he has served on the board of directors at Solium and held multiple leadership roles, guiding a fledgling startup into a world-class company with over 800 employees. Innovation, technology, and entrepreneurship are lifelong passions for Marcos. Please join me in welcoming Marcos Lobos.
Thank you. Graduates, I will now lead you in the graduate pledge on the inside of the back cover of your program. Please follow along and also read aloud. When we finish, you will all say along with me, "This is my pledge." As a graduate of the University of Calgary, wherever my life may take me, I will use my knowledge, experience, and skills to the best of my ability for the well-being of my communities and the advancement of learning and the public good. I will conduct myself with honesty and integrity, taking responsibility for my actions and respecting the rights, opinions, and dignity of all peoples. I will maintain my competency and keep abreast of developments in my chosen field. I will strive to better my communities through good citizenship and active participation. I will be a loyal ambassador for my university and will seek to promote its welfare and maintain its reputation. I will honor those who have shared their knowledge with me, and I will, in my turn, share my knowledge and experience with those who enter my field or come under my direction. In all my dealings, I will endeavor to be known as a person of honor and repute, ever seeking to earn the peace of good conscience. This is my pledge.
Of the statutes of Alberta and upon the recommendation of our faculties, I admit you to the University of Calgary degrees you have earned and grant you the rights and privileges, powers and responsibilities pertaining to those degrees. Congratulations, that's the formal part. Please be seated, and we'll now get ready to have you walk across the stage, and I'm sure everybody in this gym knows exactly what it means to cheer. So as your graduate crosses the stage, feel free to cheer and or embarrass.
Good afternoon. My name is Robin Yates. I'm the Interim Dean and Vice Provost of Graduate Studies. During their time at the University of Calgary, graduate students not only acquire new knowledge through their own learning, they distribute knowledge through their teaching, they mobilize, and they translate knowledge through interactions with the community and with industry. But most notably, they create new knowledge through their original research contributions. Whilst all graduate students are registered at the Faculty of Graduate Studies, their true academic homes are in the Faculty of Study. As such, I'd like to join my colleagues from the Faculty of Kinesiology and the Faculty of Science to honour the recipients of the graduate degrees here today. Eminent Chancellor, by the authority of the Council of Graduate Studies, we have the honour to present the following graduates.
For the degree Doctor of Philosophy, Brida Siao von Eubank. Farzan Baradaran Rahibi. Hanford John Degling. Jonathan William Hudson. Mason Keys McKay. Igor Pavlovsky. Emily Percy. Alan Carlos Avelino Rocha. Hongliang Zhang. Wenyan Zhang. For the degree Master of Kinesiology, Brian Robin Kupal. Blake Frederick Feldman. Keenan Kenneth Charles Gow. Erizel Latigan. Jacqueline Marie McCowan. Colton Patrick Quinn. Kate Marilyn Sales. Andrew William Smith. For the degree Master of Science, Ian Philip Butler. Blair Charles Kahn. Alessandro Antonio Carducci. Stephen Gordon Cartwright. Timothy Carey. Curtis Thorvald Daniluk. Eamon Thomas Drisdale. Ariaz Egebali. Adriana Josefina Gordon Ferebush. Ashkan Hemati. Ibrahim Adekunle Ibitoyi. Zikai Jia. Jin Jiang. Todd Dennis Layton. Jason Liu. Sabina Mans. Emily Sarah Mills. Anne Van Nguyen. Trevor Ruchman. Raza Ahmad Siddiqui. Gerald Christopher Smith. Tyler William Spackman. Muhammad Osman. Jared Thomas Boris. Bradley Stephen Wrolewski. Tiffany Wei Kwan Woon. For a degree post-bachelor diploma, Lindsay Jiang. Eminent Chancellor, that is the graduate class of 2019 from the Faculty of Graduate Studies.
Good afternoon, Chancellor Yellen, President Macaulay, honored guests, faculty, staff, family and friends, graduands. My name is Penny Werthner, and it is my great privilege to serve as Dean of the Faculty of Kinesiology. To you, our graduating students, congratulations. This is a really important day, as well you know, that you have earned your degree in the Faculty of Kinesiology. And with this degree, I hope that you've learned the numerous ways that physical activity and sport provide an opportunity to stay healthy, both physiologically and psychologically, for a lifetime and prevent a great deal of illness. So keep on. On behalf of our faculty and staff in kinesiology, I congratulate each of you and wish you the very best as you move on to the next phase of your life. Please do stay in touch with us. We want to hear how you're doing. Eminent Chancellor, by the authority of the Council of the Faculty of Kinesiology, Dr. Reid Ferber and I have the honor to present the following graduates.
For the degree Bachelor of Kinesiology, Mace Marwan Abu Saleh, graduating with distinction. Kaylin Marie Bartram. Temulun Basbinder, with distinction. Jenna Rachel Brackman, with distinction. Francis Arona Carroll, with distinction. Kyra Tyler Chimlewski. A combined degree, Bachelor of Kinesiology with distinction, Bachelor of Arts in Dance with distinction. Renshil Melinda Coetzee. Bachelor of Kinesiology, Blaine Duncan Cranston. Josh Lauren Derwin. Danielle Sherry Dutton Tressiter. Nicole Taylor Foldesy with distinction. Kellen Lawrence Forrest. Jade Gadas. Natasha Graver. Andrew Richard Ho. Brianna Nicole Horton. Cole Mackenzie Jackman. Dominique Emily Jensen. Jessica Maria Kozlowski. Tawny Alexandra Guatek. Kieran Drew Lamont with distinction. Carmen Alexandra Lee with distinction. Caitlin Marie Mathis with distinction. Samuel James McCaw. Nicholas Andrew McCurdy with distinction. Ty Armstrong Mitchell. Lindsay Lee Morrison, Bachelor of Kinesiology with distinction, Bachelor of Arts in Dance with distinction. Megan Mariko Naka. Jordan Eileen Page with distinction. Melissa Nicole Penman with distinction. Tammy Pham. Nice. Carly Elizabeth Reese. Rueda Riemann. Olivia Grace Scully with distinction. Arshia Segal with distinction. Harmandeep Singh Sidhu. Abby Nicole Skog with distinction. Alexandra Mackenzie Touton, combined program, Bachelor of Kinesiology with distinction, Bachelor of Arts in Science in Dance with distinction. Christine Elizabeth Vanderleet with distinction. Catherine Vu. Zia Wang. Kristen Ann Watt. Cameron Robert Williams. Danielle Bailey Wong. Celine Zhang. Connor James McDonald, first class. For the combined program, Bachelor of Kinesiology, Honors in Kinesiology, first class, Bachelor of Arts in Dance with distinction, Haley Marion McDougall. Bachelor of Kinesiology, Honors, first class, Rachel Eleanor Stokes. Bachelor of Kinesiology Honors in Leadership and Pedagogy and Coaching, first class, Jorge Enrique Bejar Seona. Bachelor of Kinesiology Honors in Leadership and Pedagogy, first class, Derek Willem Mewissa. Bronwyn Ilana Breen. Daniela Genevieve Garcia Orlena with distinction. Cheyenne Newman with distinction. Emma Jane Partridge. Allison Sylvester with distinction. Tiffany Munwa Tees. Kendrick Yee. Morgan Christine Rogers, first class. Miriam Isabel Tremblay, first class. Melissa Margaret Carnegie, with distinction. Cheyenne Taylor Dixon. Chelsea Lynn Jacobson. Jocelyn Marie Van Decker. Arsalan Kawaja, first class. Sophia Victoria Pocente, first class. Donovan Bernard Smith, first class. Manib Ali, first class. Kyle David Exner, first class. Shane Javon, first class. Sarah Catherine Elbers, with distinction. Kumil Amjad, with distinction. Ava Howlett Boshniak, with distinction. Adila Naeem Chowdhury, with distinction. Sophia Francis Grant, with distinction. Natalie Margaret Higgs. Roxana Krankowski. Richard Douglas McLennan. Robin Teresa McDougall. Hannah Jane Morrison, with distinction. Phawang Tan Ngo, with distinction. Aaron Paul Prosser, with distinction. Gina Rolfe, with distinction. Nathaniel Tong, with distinction. Matthew James Wright, with distinction. Haley Lauren Young, with distinction. Lauren Francina Eileen Campeau, first class. Stephanie Claire Kreitz, first class. Sarah Elizabeth Duick, first class. Karis Madison Hildebrand, first class. Lena Maria Jervis, first class. Ashley Kolstad, first class. Connie Ladigan, first class. Caitlin Lei Jung Sobchuk, first class. Nathan Philip Van Decker, first class. Maria Martha Arauo, Urchit Badia, with distinction. Gabrielle Natalie Blote, with distinction. Siam Zawar Chima. Maxwell Chen. Shannon Laureen Chisholm, with distinction. Cassandra Haley Devlin. Lauren Stephanie Doak, with distinction. Kara Elise Dobovich, with distinction. Erica Dawn Forgeron, with distinction. Allison Nicole Froese, with distinction. Jennifer Eleanor Patey Hidber. Jennifer Than Ho. Megan Danny Teresa Hunt, with distinction. Marina Samantha Jansen. Janine Ishi Joma, with distinction. Nicola Josephs, with distinction. Zoe Aline Keene, with distinction. Sarah Lena Keating. Abby Corradeli. Stephanie Leslie. Carly Jan McPherson. Jared Evan George McLeod, with distinction. Ryan Raymond Miller, with distinction. Brett Christine Needham. Carrie Nicole Noonan. Rachel Parker, with distinction. Teddy Lynn Gwen Phillips. Joshua Emmanuel Rizkala, with distinction. Isla Jordan Schill, with distinction. Heather Alice Smith. Sarah Juliet Sosnowski. Savannah Claire Steer. Amy Christine Steiner. Summer Tassie. Amanda Kristen Tam. Jared James Topham, with distinction. Judy Tran, with distinction. Stephanie Jessica Saiquen Kiam, with distinction. Emmy Mariana Vargas. Mira Nicole Veet. Michael Leonard Viala. Caitlin Vong, with distinction. Point Yusuf Watt. Emma Julianne Whitman. Nikola Zivanovic. Caitlin Nicole Gerzib. Alida Kathy Laurie, with distinction. Leona Lizovac. Dylan Hoga Wong, with distinction. Eminent Chancellor, that is a graduating class from 2019 from the Faculty of Kinesiology. Thank you.
Good afternoon. Thank you, everyone, for being here. Thank you to the President, Provost, Chancellor, parents, students, guests, faculty, and staff. It takes so many people to make this moment happen. My name is Leslie Rigg, and I'm the Dean of the Faculty of Science here at the university. And it is really my honor to congratulate you, all of the Faculty of Science graduates, and all of the kinesiology graduates as well. This is certainly a day to celebrate and reflect on your achievements, to think about what it took to get to this point, and what it's going to take to get to that next point. Because it is today a day of new beginnings. Today is the day you transition. You are today one of our valued students, and after you walk across the stage, you become one of our valued alumni. And we really all wish you the best. And in wishing you the best, we warmly welcome you into a new family, our diverse Faculty of Science alumni family. You join over 25,000, and actually after today, I think we'll have to up this number to 26,000, people located all over the world in every corner. And all of those people are bursting with potential, with creativity, with innovation, and you join them. So now it's your job to go and create a spark, to ignite all that is wonderful in the world. And as our honorary degree recipient said, find that spot in your brain that urges you to explore, because you're going to actually make the world a different place if you do so. So, Eminent Chancellor, by the authority of the Council of the Faculty of Science, we have the honor, both Associate Dean Nancy Chibri and I here on stage, have the honor to present the following graduates.
For the degree Bachelor of Science, Honors in Actuarial Science, First Class, Bachelor of Arts in Economics with Distinction, Richard Chunman Chan. Emmanuel Makama Akele. Ann T. Bui. Rudolf Hans Dam. Hong Ding. Chun Mei Fan. Yu Chan Guan. David Lee. Xiao Yao Mai. Xiang Zoe Nuang. David Alfonso Carlos Sanchez. Caitlin Dawn Sparks with distinction. Yu Wang. Meng Yu. Aiden James Huffman for the Bachelor of Science, Honors in Applied Mathematics and Pure Mathematics, First Class. For the degree Bachelor of Science in Applied Mathematics, Ray Ju Liu. Gabriel Mesquita with distinction. Ziqi Wei. Shoran Yang with distinction. Shivani Takar, First Class. Bachelor of Science, Honors in Computer Science. Aaron James Williamson, First Class, Internship Program. Omar Abdelwahab. Hilmi Abu Saleh, Internship Program. Samia Abrar, Internship Program. Nikolai de la Cruz Aguirre. Munish Sharaz Ahmed. Shah Farzan Al-Hafiz. Walter Alberto Avilés, Internship Program. Stephen Albert Antimis, Internship Program. Matthew David Armstrong. Arulwa Arubasai, Internship Program. Jeffrey Banawa. For the combined program, Bachelor of Science in Computer Science, Bachelor of Science in Geophysics, Monazir Bashir Nasir. For the degree Bachelor of Science in Computer Science, Ian Walker Blizzard. Aludi Bude with distinction. Brian Bowden. Ana Karina Carrochez Dallas. Anthony Sayon Cho, Internship Program. For the combined degree Bachelor of Science in Applied Chemistry, Cooperative Education Program, Bachelor of Science in Computer Science, Lisa Kao-Yong Cho. For the degree Bachelor of Science in Computer Science, James Cornell Cote. Jason Kelly DeBoer. Eric Scott Diamond, with distinction, Internship Program. Nathan Josiah Douglas. Dennis Duong, with distinction, an Internship Program. Raymond Duong, Internship Program. Ian Ionopoulos. For the combined program, Bachelor of Science in Astrophysics, Bachelor of Science in Computer Science, David Richard Engel. Yusuf Sharif Ghali. Abdel Aziz Farah. Hadiya Ferdaz, with distinction, Internship Program. Okay. Oh, and my apologies, and Bachelor of Arts in English with distinction. Michael Anthony Friesen, Internship Program. Andrew Thomas Garcia Corley. Nathan Paul Geis, Internship Program. Brandon Ryan Gobinder Singh, Internship Program. Andy Marie Green Harrison, Internship Program. Romina Garana. Mohammed Hamid, Internship Program. Keith Hamil with distinction. Conlon James Hanwell, Internship Program. Kauthar Hassan. Minkan He with distinction. Michael Matthew Heaney. Andrew Tae Heng, Internship Program. Nicholas Su Wei Ho, Internship Program. Michael Lian Huang, Internship Program. Joshua Hung, Internship Program. Joanna Mei Huan, Internship Program. Arthur Iwanizan. Ian McCall Johnston. Trent Trevor David Johnston, with distinction. Troy Robert Boyd Catcher. Rumen Kasanov Kasabov. Graham Lewis Kelly for the Bachelor of Science in Computer Science, and also for the Bachelor of Science in Pure Mathematics and Applied Mathematics. Lames Biakia Karfan with distinction. Vanessa Kirchenberger. Eric Braden Kirchner. Luke Robert Kissick with distinction. Ryan Lambert Konenenbelt, Internship Program. Herman Ting Hin Kwan. Alexander Lam with distinction, Internship Program. Calvin Lowe. Nicole Jolie Lefebvre with distinction. Stephen James Long. Zhang Liang. Alan Kanlun Yu, Internship Program. Masa Lotfi Gasakamali. Xianmeng Lo. Jackie Luke, Internship Program. Su Yan Ma, Internship Program. Carrie Ma, Internship Program. Maria Mama Clay. Spencer Maurice Harbor Maslin. Michael James McCulloch. Rachel Ariane Ruth McLean with distinction. Matthew Mullins. Cynthia Nguyen. Muhammad Nouri. Arthur Jason Alejo Santos. Lien Remio Miguel. Mienbu Jason Hugo. Angela Renola. Chanel Sason. Brian James McGregor. For the Bachelor of Science in Computer Science with distinction and Bachelor of Science with the Bachelor of Commerce with distinction, James Edward Mills. Kevin Teodosio Naval. Dennis Vuok Nguyen. Samuel New. Farzan Nouri, Internship Program. Okay. For the degree Bachelor of Science in Computer Science with distinction, Internship Program, and for the degree Bachelor of Science in Applied Mathematics with distinction, Kyle Mitchell Ostrander. Adrian Parcio Chuga. Internship Program, Cole Jake Parker. Brenda Juan To Pham. Richard Pham. Tran Pham. Abigail Megan Oliver. Zia Ray Mann. Crystal Jane Richards. Masi Sadat. Mitchell Gareth Sawatsky, internship program. Joshua Michael Skins. David Stevens Spoluveda Martinez. Ramnapreet Singh Sidhu, with distinction, internship program. For the combined program, Bachelor of Science in Computer Science and Bachelor of Commerce, Brandon Kawai Su. Kaylee Kimberly Stelter, with distinction. Dylan John Temple, internship program. Nirujan Tambimutu. Alexander Conrad Thompson. Colin Derek Thompson, internship program. Kevin Arnold Unarsi. Teresa Van. Christian David Velasco. Michael Edward Verwayan. Sharon Wang, with distinction. Komal Wasim. For the combined program, Bachelor of Commerce, Bachelor of Science in Computer Science, Michael Wademowski. John Allen Wilson. Conrad Michael Wisniewski, internship program. Selena Yu, internship program. For the degree Bachelor of Science, in General Mathematics, Mohammed Hussein Khalil. Devin Michael Norris. For the combined program, Bachelor of Science in General Mathematics, Bachelor of Arts in Economics, Bobby Valentine Boyce. Nicholas Vincent Scarpino. Kennedy Alexandra Todd. Darlington Chidiabare, Bachelor of Science in Mathematics with distinction. Sean Michael Elliott for the degree Bachelor of Science Honors in Geology, first class. For the degree Bachelor of Science Honors in Geology, John Fraser Ferguson. Nicole Molly Jensen, first class. Patrick Aseo Lagasca, first class. Samantha Jane Mackey. Elena Kelly Munrath, first class. Stephen Alexander Schroeder. For the degree Bachelor of Science in Geology, John Bior Ajang. Kyriakos Pianiotis Aniotis. Adnan Baha. Priyanka Bangar. Angela Ruth Banman. For the degree Bachelor of Science in Geophysics, Bachelor of Science in Geology, Neil Pascal Barreto. Justin Johan Bartilan. For the degree Bachelor of Science in Earth Science, Bachelor of Science in Geology, Frank Wilson Berkshire. Danielle Michael Biandara. Rylan Blake Bjorndal. Bentley Bjorn Blondo. Oops. Tyson Thomas Boyda. Matthew William Busby. Guillermo Charles Barrera. Chanel Sandram Chetty. Karen Kaima. Jessie Lee Couture. Emily Cristobal. Parker Seth Cumming. John Ray Yap Dibuko. Chad Benjamin Earhart. For the degree Bachelor of Science in Geology with distinction, Bachelor of Arts in Economics with distinction, Evan Campbell Geiger. Armin Ganbari. Yeman Gong. Matthew Daniel Gonzalez. Daniel Eduardo Gonzalez. Sabriya Halford. Fred Vincent Hakinen, with distinction. Maruk Imran. Sonia Jeremic. Carolyn Johnson. For the combined degree Bachelor of Science in Geology, Bachelor of Science in Geophysics, Jakub Kosovic. Jeremy Christopher Law. Sarah Sikai Lee. Susan Isabel McCann. Yi Tai Mei. Regina Mukar. Osman Malumo. Vincent Alexandre Morency. Fahim Nazari. Taylor Stephen Nodrick. Matthew Connor O'Brien. Mihailo Papik. Melika Papik. Diego Eduardo Para. Mayjel Marie Pittman. Megan Ray Pittman. Patrick Kwan. Kira Quinn. Kishale Saha. Darwa Saleh. Gopesh Sharma. Navroop Sidhu. Sophia Stanek, with distinction. Dylan James Strachan. Andy Seo. Douglas Scott Underwood. Kenzoe Wei. Brock Connor Wellman. Stephen Michael Werner. Jose Zhang. Ying T. Zhang, with distinction. Mila Zlatnovska. Michael Jacob Adore, Bachelor of Science Honors in Geophysics, First Class. Sarah Marie Reed. Daniel Sola, First Class. Keegan Anthony Valerio. Hasim Ahmed, for the degree Bachelor of Science in Geophysics. Brandon James Curran. Sean Evan Dornan. Ashley Michelle Fudge. For the degree Bachelor of Science in Geophysics and Geology, Ryan Thomas Greco. For the degree Bachelor of Science in Geophysics, Luke Alexander Harlow Lawrence. Mohammed Ikram Ulhaq. Ryan Christopher Casera. Andrew Stephen Koo. Anita Liming Law. Amanda Josephine Lowe. Anita Rashi Dinan. For the combined degree, Bachelor of Science in Geology, Bachelor of Science in Geophysics, Jared Reed Stoko. Faria Tassain. Mursha Mary Thomas. Ryan Valencia with distinction. Liana Victoria. For the combined degree Bachelor of Science in Geophysics and Bachelor of Science in Mechanical Engineering, Thomas Gerald Wagner. For the degree Bachelor of Science Geophysics, Jason Wong. Patrick Thomas Yee. For the degree Bachelor of Science Honors in Pure Mathematics, First Class, Heather Jane Behringer. For the degree Bachelor of Science Honors in Pure Mathematics and Applied Mathematics, First Class, James Donnell Rolfe Steele. Andre DeWall with distinction. For the degree Bachelor of Science in Pure Mathematics, Chad Jordan Wheeler. For the degree Bachelor of Science in Statistics with distinction, Joseph Christian Mercado. For the combined degree of Bachelor of Science in Statistics and Bachelor of Arts in Economics, Bull Peter Tutt. For the degree Bachelor of Science in Statistics and Actual Science with distinction, Jarui Zhang. For the degree Bachelor of Arts in Sociology, Jiba Sidiyo Bari. For the degree Bachelor of Arts in English, Leila Ali Hamad. For the degree Bachelor of Arts in Sociology, Mariam Ismail. For the degree Bachelor of Arts in Psychology and the degree of Bachelor of Arts in Sociology, Samina Javed. For the degree Bachelor of Arts in Sociology, Zanab Abdi Mohammed. For the degree Bachelor of Social Work, Maimuna Shaheen Kwan. Eminent Chancellor, that is a graduating class of 2019 from the Faculty of Science. Thank you.
Well, congratulations, graduates. We are now at the point in the ceremony where we single out students for special recognition, those who've excelled in their studies to the point where they are recognized as a medal winner. And the names and the medals that we're awarding today are on page 46 of your convocation program. Eminent Chancellor and President, it is my honor to present to you, the platform party, graduates, and everyone else assembled here today, the following medal winners. The winner of the Kinesiology Gold Medal is Kyle Exner. Kyle is graduating with a Bachelor of Science in Exercise and Health Physiology. In his final year of study, he played in his 4th year of junior hockey and completed an honors thesis project on the effects of prebiotic fiber supplement in attenuating antibiotic-induced obesity. He has recently accepted an offer to be part of the class of 2022 at the Cummings School of Medicine, where he will begin in July. Kyle achieved a cumulative GPA of 3.91. Congratulations, Kyle. The recipients of the Association of Professional Engineers and Geoscientists of Alberta Past President's Gold Medals are presented to the following. For Geology, Sarah Hislop. The winner of the Department of Computer Science Silver Medallion is Eric Diamond. And the winner of the Department of Mathematics and Statistics Silver Medallion is J. Ray Jang.
Thank you to all of you for attending this convocation ceremony and supporting our graduates, some more vocally than others. It's been a pleasure to see such accomplished people across the stage, and for all you graduates in kinesiology, there are a lot of us in this room that are counting on you to keep us walking. No pressure, we're going to need your help. Thank you to our esteemed faculties of science, kinesiology, and graduate studies. Congratulations to our honorary degree recipient, John Geiger, who has given us some very important messages about making sure that we explore the boundaries and not stay within our comfort zones. Congratulations to our Order of the University of Calgary recipient, Greg Vavra. As you heard, Greg has been the driving force behind the Dinos Fifth Quarter Alumni Association, which raises funds for UCalgary athletics. And he was a quarterback for the Dinos, the Stampeders, and of course my beloved Eskimos. What many of you don't know is that I am a huge football fan, and I have been since I was in elementary school. I blame it on my brother, who's 12 years older than I am, and it was a way for me to spend time with him before he went away to grad school. So it was, for me, being close to a football player with this kind of stature is almost, it's like royalty. So in fact, when Greg returned my phone call about receiving the Order of the University of Calgary, I had just hung up from my weekly football call with my brother. And we were talking about the missed call by the referees at the New Orleans Saints playoff game against the LA Rams. True story. So the timing couldn't have been better, and I think he was quite surprised that that's really what I wanted to talk about, not so much about the Order of Calgary, but about the football game. So it's been a great pleasure to be able to share the stage with Greg today. Congratulations to our medal winners, Kyle, Sarah, Eric, and Joari. Our convocation ceremony was accompanied by music, thanks to some very talented individuals. Thank you to Alf Miller, our piper, Elder Rod Hunter, who performed the honor song, Louisa Adria and Serena Young for their beautiful rendition of the national anthem, and the Sidewinders for providing music. A special thank you to all the staff, faculty, and volunteers who have worked so hard behind the scenes to make today's convocation ceremony unfold smoothly. To our graduates, throughout this ceremony, we have recognized your years of dedication and commitment to your studies and extracurricular activities. You've worked hard, and we're proud of all that you've accomplished, and so should you. Today is your day of celebration. Cherish the memories that you've made along the way and enjoy your journey. You've done it. You're now officially University of Calgary graduates. All right. Are we at a football game or a basketball game? One housekeeping note before we depart. I would like to ask the graduates to please exit from the floor, up the bleachers, stairs to the track level after the academic and platform parties make their way to the back of the gym. All audience guests, please remain in your seats until the procession is over, and then you may join your graduates upstairs. I declare this convocation closed. Please stand for the departure of our processions.